everyone, and thanks for joining me. Today we're doing an embroidery tutorial, and specifically we're focusing on 3D puff embroidery. If you're not familiar with 3D puff embroidery, it is the method of using a foam behind your embroidery to give it this raised puff effect. I don't know if you can see on camera just how raised up it is. It gives it a 3D feel. So you can see a couple different examples here. Creative Appliques has a new font. It's called 3D Puff Varsity Font. I will link it in the description below the video. But that's what I use to create all three of these bags. We're going to be making this one in the video, but this is a really neat technique to just bring your projects up another level, just to give it a little bit more dimension. You can do 3D puff on images as well as fonts. It doesn't just have to be on letters. You can do it on like a picture of a dog. You could make the face very dimensional by adding some foam behind your embroidery. So in this video, I'm just going to walk you through how to work with the foam, how to create the 3D puff, and that's it. I prefer to make my bags out of the hoop, so I'm going to just put the 3D puff wording on this fabric, and then I'll make this off camera, make it into a bag. But you typically see 3D puff on hats. I mean, that's the most common place, but you can use it in so many other ways, and I thought it would be really cute just to make a really simple bag. By the way, if you leave a comment in the description below the video and tell me what you would use 3D puff for, I will be giving away one of these bags to one of the commenters in the below the video. It'll just be a random pick, and I will notify you by email. So make sure that you click that bell and click get notifications. That way, if I reply that I need your mailing information, you will get that notification. So without further ado, let's get into the video and see what this 3D puff is all about. Let's get started. So this is the puffy foam that I use. It's by Sulky. I will link it in the description below the video. It comes in this pack, and you'll see that you don't use a whole lot, so this will go quite a way, and you do want to get various colors if you have the opportunity, because it really helps to match your foam with your thread somewhat. So here I am in Embrilliance. I have put the letters in the order that I want them. You can see we're going to do another bag that says Maker. But as you can see, she's got these set up so that every letter comes in a different color, and that's so that you can do the effect and have each letter stand on its own with a different color, or you can make them all the same. So I'm just going to really quickly just alter the color situation in the software just to make it easier on me, but you don't have to. The machine doesn't know what color thread that you are assigning to the needle or what color thread you're using. So if you are using a single needle, you can just keep stitching every color in the same color if you want, or you can switch them out, whatever you want to do. But I just thought I would do this really quickly in the video just so that you can see how I am going to go about it. So I'm going to select the M, and I'm going to go down here to color, and I'm going to change that to green. Same for the A, color, green. Okay. The E, I'm going to go color, green, okay. And the R, color, light green, okay. So all of the outline stitches are going to be in the green, and then I want to make all of the letter, the puff part of the embroidery, all the same color as well. So I'm going to click on the M, the solid part of the M. I'm going to again click on color, and I'm going to change that to blue. I'm going to go to the gray, color, change that to blue. Do the same for the E. The K is already blue. Click OK. And the R. Color, blue. That's the only changes I'm making. And again, you don't have to even go through this exercise of changing the colors. You can just assign the right colors on a multi-needle, or just thread whatever color you want on your single needle. But I'm going to do it this way for this project. So I'm going to save this out as a DST for my particular machine. I'm going to use the Ricoma for this project, but you can also use a single needle machine. Okay, so I have hooped a piece of sticky stabilizer, and I have put my fabric on. I've centered it up, and I've marked the center with a dime center sticker. And so that's ready to go. So this fabric is just floated on top of this sticky. I also have a piece of my foam cut down to the size slightly bigger than the word maker. What's going to happen when we stitch this out, it's going to stitch in 2 steps. We're going to have the outline letters, which if you remember we did in green. And then we're going to have the foam puffy part, which is going to be in blue. The green's going to stitch first. We're going to let that stitch out, and then we're going to put the foam down, and then that will stitch the puffy part of the letter. So it'll fill in the centers of the outline. So let's head over to the machine. So I've already loaded it onto the design onto the machine. We're all ready to go. Everything's centered. I made sure my needle number 1 is centered with this dime sticker. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. We're going to lock up the machine. We're going to click OK, and we're going to do a trace just to make sure. We should have plenty of room. By the way, I'm using the 6.25 by 8.25 Mighty hoop. Love this hoop. Perfect for these bags. And now we're going to go ahead and start stitching. And again, it's going to stitch that green outline stitch first. One thing I want to double check is to make sure I have it on automatic manual. That's going to make it stop after it finishes that first step, which is the green step. All right, let's go.
You don't know what is it we're saying.
So once the outline is finished, I've pushed the frame out. I'm going to take my foam, which I have, it's cut slightly bigger, so I've got room to add some tape, and I'm going to tape this down. We don't want it to move at all as it's stitching. And it's as simple as that. So all we have to do is hit start and let it start doing the puff portion.
Care. All you know is, honey, that you're faking. You don't know, you don't care. We're all having fun, bathing in the sun.
Okay, so we're all done. We can go ahead and remove our tape. And this just pops right off. Just like that. Then you can use some tweezers for the counterparts of your letters, the inside of the A, the R, anything like that. And that's it. So I've removed it from the hoop. You can see it here on the back. I can go ahead and clean up that paper. I'll do that off camera, but that's what the back looks like. That's the front. So you can go ahead and use this for whatever you want. Now, if you have little pieces of foam sticking out, and I don't know if you can see that, there's just little tiny peak of foam sticking out. If you do, all you need is a heat gun or a blow dryer, and just hit it let it get hot, and then just hit it for a couple of seconds, and that will shrink that foam right back under the thread, and you won't see any foam sticking out. So let me do that. So I've got a heat gun here. I'll link this one in the description below the video. I like this one. It's got a high and a low. The trick is to let it heat up a little bit, and then you're not going to burn it. You're going to keep it moving, but check out where you want it and just kind of go over it until you see that foam kind of shrink up. But don't just hold it and melt it like that. You want to kind of keep it moving. So here we go.
We're all building castles, castles in the sand. We're having fun, we're having fun. You don't know what is it.
And you can see just by hitting that with the heat gun, that foam shrunk right up. You can't see it whatsoever. So this is ready to go. You can use this on a bag. If you're going to make your bag in the hoop, obviously you could put this into your design in the appropriate spot. I like to make my bags out of the hoop. I just like the way the zippers work better for me. You do want to make sure that when you're doing it, if you can, use a color of foam that closely matches your thread. That will make it even better coverage if you do have anything peeking out. So I use the blue for the blue. It comes in a pretty basic set of colors. So you just want to use the one closest. It might not be, you know, if I had orange, I would probably use the yellow or something like that. If I had a hot pink, I'd probably use the red. So you don't need the exact color. You just want to get it, you know, kind of in the same color family and tone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to go ahead and make this into a bag and I'll show you what it looks like.
You don't know, it's not fair. All you know is, darling, that we're faking. You don't know, it's not fair. We're all having fun, bathing in the sun. We're all building castles, castles in the sand. We're having fun, we're having fun. We're all building castles, castles in the sun. We're having fun, we're having fun.